keeping you will see. I'm a gallery of broken hearts. I'm beyond repair, let me be, and give me back my broken parts. Just give me back my pieces. Just give them back to me, please. Just give me back my pieces and let me hold my broken parts. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today. I just wanna feel the day, feel the day, feel the day. I just wanna feel something, I just wanna feel something. I just wanna know today, know today, know today. Know that maybe I will be okay. Know that maybe I will be okay. Know that maybe I will be okay.
Hey everybody,
Hey,
what
y'all,
up?
what up?
Welcome to the Righteous
And the Ratchet
Podcast.
Podcast.
We in this thing today, y'all.
In
We
this
got
thing.
a guest.
And guess what?
Tasha.
Hold on. I'm not on Facebook jail no more.
We are not listening because she'll be in Facebook jail soon. Okay?
Yeah.
Because she be on there with the shenanigans.
No,
However, we got a guest today. Hey, Tasha in the house.
In the Ratchet Podcast. My bad. My bad. Technical difficulty.
Ain't no technical difficulty. She over here trying to do too much. Okay? I'm about sick of her. Nobody told her to do all of that. Anyway, we got a guest today. Hey, Tasha girl.
Hey, Tasha.
We're going to go ahead and get started with our disclaimers. Disclaimer number one. Everybody on this show is grown.
Yes.
All of the thoughts and ideas that are shared on this show belong to us.
Do.
They do not represent any job
May.
or church affiliation.
Okay. My bad.
Or church affiliations. These are our own thoughts. Disclaimer number two. Because we grown,
Yes.
don't call our mama
Don't call
or
my
our
mama.
grandma,
Don't call my grandma.
aunties, uncles.
Don't
Don't
call
call
my
none of
auntie,
them,
don't call
okay?
none of my- you
If
get
you
what
got
I'm saying?
something, you feel like you want to say something about the show, get in them chats. We in there with you.
Please.
Disclaimer number three. This conversation right here is a very touchy conversation, but it's one that needs to be had.
Yes.
And y'all know the ratchet, her mouth is real loose. So
Loose as a goose. Don't get me started.
no, thank you.
My bad.
So if your ears are gonna be a little Holy Ghost sensitive, this is your chance to exit.
Left.
Stage left.
Right,
Okay?
left, front, back, whichever the exit sign leads you to, wherever your heart leads you, please. My bad.
Sick of her.
All right.
However, we finna have a whole conversation. So strap on your seatbelts. Here we go.
Click, click.
Bing clong. Bing clong. Bing clong. Bing clong. Bing clong. Alright, here we go.
All right, so everybody, in today's society, everybody is going through things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different things that people are going through, and some people don't even know how to pull their self out. So I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying too when I say that, meaning you don't want to stay in that same situation. Some people are stagnant when they go through things. Some people just don't know how to pull their way out. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. First question that I have to start off is, what do y'all think depression is?
Depression has many different.
You got to talk louder. Don't be
I
acting
don't
like you
talk this-
Yeah, can y'all hear her?
This is
Yes.
this is as loud as I'm gonna get today. Thank you very kindly.
I'm gonna need you to turn your level up a little bit.
I mean, to me, it's an internal mental thing, but it varies in different stages. So depending on the person, it could be depression. Could be I can't get out of my bed. I don't feel like dealing with today at all, or it could be high functioning where I'm the life of the party. I'm laughing. It's different phases to depression. You really don't know until the
That's
person
facts.
is kind of almost at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't say anything, you won't know it.
So if you had to put depression in words, what is it?
It's a feeling of hopelessness, that it's not a normal hopelessness. It's
Despair.
Yeah, it's more to it, and it is a mental thing, because what someone else what you may see as, oh well, it's not that bad, I can get over it. To somebody else who deals with depression, that could be the be all end all on how they handle the next moves in their life. Where you can lose your job and be like, okay, I can bounce back. I'm gonna give me another job. I can go do this, and another person is just like, I've lost my job.
That's it.
I'm done. I don't know how to go. I can't. It can be a stopping, a debilitating issue. It can stop you for real.
I feel like you're saying that depression is a weakness.
It's not a weakness. I'm not calling
And so,
it a weakness.
and I'm glad you just said that, because I don't want anybody watching this live, who's watching now or will watch later, to assume or think that depression is a weakness. It is not a death sentence. It is a label that we give to describe a state of mind, is what depression is. Depression is when you have overwhelming feelings of sadness or anxiety that control you and grip you to a point where you feel like your next moves are predicated on that feeling. That's what depression is.
Do you feel like it's because of the way that you were raised that you're not strong enough to deal with the way that other people deal with depression?
Nope. Because the reality is 99.9999 100% everybody watching this live has felt feelings of despair. Everybody has been at that place where it's like, bro, like I can't take anymore. I feel like the weight of the world is sitting on me and I don't know how to respond. The difference in how we respond is what changes it from depression to anxiety to stress. That's where the difference comes in. Is how you respond to it, how you react to what you're feeling. And at this point, I am in the process of getting my degree to be a counselor, because I want to dismantle the thought process in the Black community that seeing a counselor makes you crazy, or that feeling depression means I'm weak, or feeling, any feeling other than joy and happiness makes you feel less than. That's not true.
Okay. Tasha, how about you tell us the experience that you've had with depression and how did you overcome it?
I've had several, and all of them were different. I know after my daughter died, I had the postpartum depression. And it wasn't that I felt like I wanted to take my life or I felt like I couldn't handle it. It was just like, I don't want to do this right now. Like, I just physically, I didn't want to. And I didn't want to participate and try. Like, it was something I had to pull myself out of because I was like, this is my child. I love my child and I need to raise her. But on the flip side, I just was battling with, what if I can't take care of her? What if I can't be the role model she needs me to be? It's it's an overwhelming feeling. And it just became, okay, I don't think I want to do this no more. And for a minute I didn't kind of mess with her. Like I would tend to her and make sure she was okay. But as far as like the extra love that you would show, a piece of that didn't click in until later. And it was just, I was overwhelmed with, I have this kid now that I didn't plan on having. That's one instance. Then there was another instance, and this is more recent. It was after my sister died. And I've been taught, I've been in the church all my life. And I've been taught that you pray and you grieve a certain way and you deal with things a certain way. And it didn't register in my mind how to do that at that moment because I did not understand that death. And it got to a point where I didn't want to be here. I had started writing letters telling folks, hey, I'm going to leave my kids with so-and-so because I cannot function and I cannot process what is happening.
Or what to do next.
And what to do next. Or how do I grieve?
Right.
Who do I talk to? Because some, church people, they have a tendency to be like, well,
you can call me, girl, if you need something. Call me, girl. I'm praying for you.
It's the you tell me not to grieve as though I have no hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get that because I know I'm going to see her again.
Mm-hmm.
But to tell me that I can't bawl out and cry, or that I'm supposed to suck it up,
Mm-hmm.
or grieve, like it doesn't happen like that for everybody. And
It doesn't.
mine just internalized because I
Mm-hmm.
just was like, I cannot talk to people about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I think the best way to make it shut off, because that's the initial, that is
You don't
the end
necessarily
goal.
want to leave here.
You don't
just
want to
wanna
leave
turn
here.
off
The
page.
end goal is to
Yeah.
shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you think of different ways. How can I make this stop? How can I make my brain stop
Mm-hmm.
just going and like repeat? Like for the longest, it just would go
Mm-hmm.
over
On a
and
loop.
over again on a loop.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing. And I was just like, this has got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to a counselor. And at first I was like, I don't know about this. Because, I'm telling my friends and stuff, I go see a counselor. Then they're going to be thinking I'm something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until my grandmother told me, she said, Tasha, she said, your mind, you have to take care of your mind just like you take care of
Facts.
your body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor you have a heart condition,
Mm-hmm.
or you, for whatever reason your heart feels weird, it's beating off, the heart doctor is going to find out what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
She said, if you have diabetes, you go see that doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that my people, black people, feel like you can't go see a therapist about your mind when that's a part of your body?
Right.
And no,
That's facts.
it's not depression, anxiety, all of that, bipolarism. It's not, you can't see it for face value.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't walk up to me and be like, oh, well, she's got whatever, because you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what anybody has.
Mhm.
So it's just like you have to, I lost my train of thought, but you have to, but I mean, it's just like,
But you do
not
bring up
all-
a good point, because something that you did say, and I have a question about it. Like you said that you went to go see a counselor, but you tried praying. So do you feel like you can't pray depression away?
I don't feel like you can't, you cannot, but I feel like just like I could go and pray that Lord, deliver me from this hypertension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this anymore.
Mhm.
I don't want to have to worry about if I get too mad, am I going to have a heart attack? If I have an accident, is this going to make my heart stop? Or I'm taking 3, 4, 5. But I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Lord placed the doctor there to give me the medicine so that I could take care of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same way with the mind. So yeah, I could pray. I could pray all day long, but the thoughts still keep rolling. And you can turn it over to Jesus. People like, turn it over to Jesus and leave it there. And if you take it back, sometimes, reverence, with people with mental
So that holy
disorders.
water don't be working for you.
Not holy
I
water.
know somebody, first of all, I don't,
Ain't nobody
first
got
of
no
all,
holy water
let's
like
talk
no
about this.
being.
I don't let
Huffing
everybody
them.
put holy water on.
Oh, I thought we was
because-
putting holy water on depressed people and they was coming up and they was not depressed no more. Dale,
No,
how you feel about it?
no,
Can you pray
that don't work.
depression away?
Prayer,
Not all the time.
prayer is a tool. Common sense and resources are tools. God gave us a tool to communicate with Him. When He speaks back to us, then He tells us, hey, bro, go do X, Y, and Z. So if He's speaking to you and telling you, I can heal you, but you need some, I need you to walk this out. Help me help you. So yes, we can pray to God and He can give us direction on how to handle things. But no, just praying about it is not going to make it go away.
Mm-mm.
It's just like when you have cancer, you pray that God heals you. But you take your crazy tail to that oncologist so the oncologist can tell you, we're going to do chemo, we're going to do surgery, and blah, blah, blah. Praying absolutely helps you because it gives you the faith. It builds your spirit man to tell your spirit man, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting this.
So this is my problem. This is why a lot of people feel like you can go without praying, without using that tool, and still use the people that God put on this earth in order to use. I mean, if I lack thereof prayer, but if I'm going to see a therapist and I get better, then what the hell was the point of me praying?
See, this is the problem that a lot of people run into is the fact that you can go to a therapist, but you have to know where the therapist is guiding you to. Because if you're going to a therapist and your therapist is telling you, you know what, you need to strengthen yourself and find the strength within yourself to make X, Y, and Z happen. Then once you find the strength within yourself and X, Y, and Z doesn't happen because you become strong, right? Now X, Y, and Z doesn't happen. Why doesn't X, Y, and Z happen? Then you come back and you're questioning. If a counselor says to you, you need to find yourself in a space where you can communicate with God to get direction so he can help you make X, Y, and Z happen. Then you get to a place where it's like, okay, I'm not just trying to follow my own self. I'm following the leading of a higher power, whoever your higher power is, of a higher power. Mine is God, and he speaks clearly to me, okay? But once you get in communication with God and he orders your steps and says, okay, turn left, turn right, turn left again, and you gonna meet Sister Big Bones, and she gonna help you talk through this.
But how do you explain the success stories of people who don't even believe in God but who have come out of depression?
You can call them success stories, but if you sit down and have a conversation with those people, they're still searching. So you can be
At this
successful.
point, we're making assumptions.
But I'm just saying, you can be successful. Let's take Kanye West, for example.
Oh, boy.
He's successful. He got monies. He got dollars. But he's still searching. That man was...
Something was wrong with him when he was born.
He
We
was
can't
having...
use
No,
him. He
no.
got dropped on
No,
his head.
I don't think so.
No.
I think
That's why he got his
Kanye
head
West is a
lopsided.
manifestation and an example of what happens when you do not grieve. When you do not take the proper precautions to make sure you have resources available to you when you feel like the world is against you. That man, I'm certain. Kanye, if you watch this, I pray you do watch it so you can get my viewers up and give me some dollars. But I'm sure when that man lost his mama after he had just paid for her to get surgery and get skinty, he felt a type of way. But because he's a public figure and he decides to cry, we tell him, oh, you crazy because you crying on stage. So the system, really the system is rigged against you in a lot of instances. He's an artist and he can be creative. But now that man is searching for something that's bigger than himself. And until he said he found the Lord. But until you really find the Lord and then listen to him so that when he gives you direction and you can find the resources, then you can really be on a path to a healthier lifestyle, a healthier and less stressful lifestyle. And maybe you can hear and separate things and differentiate versus sandwiching everything and everybody together. Okay. So yeah, it looks like it's just like a drug dealer. They look like they profiting. They make a lot of money. They rolling in the dough, buying all the newest shoes, buying you sandwiches and things. But one day, they gonna get caught up. And then when they get caught up and they in the jail cell, locked up, hold up in the prisoner, the slammer, who they gonna be calling on?
The name of Jesus.
You better call him. You better call him.
Jesus.
Not Jesus.
Oh,
we call
my
him
bad.
Jesus.
So,
Jesus
I have a
is
question
fine.
for you. So, you've been in a state of depression. I've been in a state of depression too. When I came out of my marriage, I had went into a state of depression, and that's because I felt like I didn't know where my life was headed. And my problem is the fact of unknowing. That puts me into a state of uncertainty, and it just brings me kind of down to a level to where I just don't want to deal with it.
Okay, now take that. And that's how you deal with it, right? Now there's somebody that it gets worse for them. You still trying to figure out how to bounce back from your marriage. Some people are just depressed about the fact that they are getting a divorce. And that leaves them in bed all day. Not want to take care of themselves.
Yeah, I had gotten to that point. I had went from 198. I'm now 170. So I had gotten to a fact where I didn't want to eat. All I did was want to sleep. But I went and I sought help. I actually started going to see a counselor. I wouldn't recommend seeing black counselors because they want to talk about their life instead of yours.
That's because you
But-
didn't find the right counselor. She knows she or he didn't know what
That's
they
where
was
prayer
doing.
kicks in.
Come on, discernment.
What do you mean that's when prayer kicks in?
That when you so you said earlier about you can pray, and what's the difference in the person that prays and the person that doesn't pray? The person that prays, God is going to say, "Hey, you can be looking for a therapist. I'm looking for a therapist," and God say, "Hey, that one," and you click it, and it's exactly the person you need.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that conversation with him, you just clicking on your own like, oh, okay, well,
I was actually
credentials
looking for the
high.
cheapest affordable one.
See,
I
it
didn't.
wasn't going.
And see, that's the other part of it. Counselors are just like cars. You pick what your preference is.
I think I got a Honda.
Girl, you probably got a
Civic
Hoopty.
1994.
You had a Hoopty, a Pinto, a 1902 Pinto.
Oh,
But I've had actually, she was an African lady. She was a therapist, but she was really good.
I'm a
well,
black
I mean,
counselor,
at some
so
point
how
the
you gonna say
counselor
that?
had gotten so comfortable with me to where she started talking to me about her problems too. Bitch, I didn't come here to talk about your
Shaking my
problems.
damn head.
You
Lord
know-
have
You know
mercy.
what I heard the other day was the best thing that I ever heard in life? Counselors need counselors.
That's facts.
Well, I'm not your counselor. Not on my time. Not on my dime.
That's facts. That's two facts too. I agree. I agree with that.
Agree to both.
I agree with both and not either or.
So let's talk about this. Y'all know, growing up, every nigga kid has heard.
Well, I'm not a nigga kid. I never was one.
Every African American kid
Hot dog.
has heard what happens in this
Ratchet.
house stays in this house.
That, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's controversial. It's a problem.
I feel like that is the most toxic thing to the black
Facts.
community.
So you gonna say that you never told?
No.
I
Trust
was
me.
gonna say your daughter name, but I don't know if you
I've been taught that. I've been taught that, and I have told my daughter that. But I've also told her, if it's something that pertains to you and your health, and you feel like you need to get some help outside of here, do that, please. Because it's so many times that the black community, whether it be molestation, rape, mental health, whatever, it's always don't you tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
When we get out these doors, we gotta look a certain way.
Yeah.
And then the whole time on the inside, the person that needs the help
Crying
is
out loud.
breaking and,
Yeah.
and being
Mm-hmm.
broken even more. And then you're taught that. So then you go through life thinking like, well, I can't let y'all see all this baggage I got
Mm-hmm.
on my back, so let me just leave it here at the door, and I'm gonna
That's
go out
right,
here and put on
Francesca. Black counselors are good too.
this.
Not the
I'm
one
just
I
gonna
went
go
to,
out here and
child.
put on this front, and it doesn't help because whatever happens throughout that day, you then you add on to whatever you already have. Then you come back in your house and you're still broke. You still broke.
So let me say this. The intention behind what happens in this house, stays in this house, is pure. The intention is for privacy. Because I don't want my children running out of here saying, oh, my mama, when she go to sleep, wear a bonnet on her head and, you know, she don't have on a bra and she
Her
just...
little panties.
Yeah.
No.
But you teach your children privacy, but you should not teach them silence. There is a difference. You should teach them privacy, but not silence. Now, that generational, I call it a generational curse that has passed down through the generations of African American families. What happens in this house stays in this house has been detrimental to our community, not only in one way, but in a myriad of ways, because it has taught us we can't share. It has taught us shut yourself down, shut your personal life down. So you don't become personable with people. You become this, I'm one way before you and I'm another way when I'm not with you. Like it has crippled us in so many ways. You have so many parents, grandparents, older people who have gone through so many detrimental things in their life, and because don't you see nothing what happened in this house stays in this house, they've never spoken about it.
So if somebody feels like they're going into depression stage because they hear you moaning every single night,
Moaning about what?
like, but they might think that you're crying because they don't know exactly what the hell's going
Who
on.
is the they that we're talking about? I just
And
want
the
to say.
kids, like the kids, may feel a certain type of way because they hear you moaning and really actually
My kids
I'm
now.
saying period,
Okay.
just in
I'm
general.
just
Like
checking.
they may think you're crying because daddy's in there hurting you, or really he's in there pleasing. You see what I'm saying? So that can send them into a state of worriness that can but you don't want them going to tell their teacher that you moaning too loud.
That's
You
why I
see
said
what
there's
I'm
a
saying?
difference in privacy and silence.
But how
There
do
is
they
a
know how to
difference.
differentiate that when they're kids?
That's why you talk to your children.
So, mommy, why was you in there hollering all? So, mommy, why?
Because
was you in there
mommy and
hollering?
daddy do private things behind the closed doors,
Well,
and I was
what
not
is- what is
moaning
that
in
private
pain.
thing? You was moaning in pleasure?
That's mommy and daddy's business.
Well, mommy, I'm worried about you.
Don't be worried. God is with me,
But your ass has a big imprint on it.
and I'm saved.
Jasmine.
I'm sanctified. And that handprint felt good when it went down.
Oh my God! See what I'm saying? It's
I'm
mothers
dead.
like this.
I'm dead. Goodbye.
You just gotta tell that truth. Tell that truth. Tell the truth.
So you gotta. So a kid needs to know what they are capable of talking about and what they can talk about when they walk out the door.
See, this is the other thing that I feel like in black families happens. We want to educate our kids, but we don't empower them. We want to educate our kids and we don't want to empower them to use their voice. There's a difference between talking back and responding. And I teach my children that all the time. When I give you a directive, in that moment, there is no, but mama. That's not the time to respond.
Not at all.
If we're in conversation and we're having a conversation or you feel something, come to me, talk to me. If I say to you, the sky is blue, what do you think? That's your opportunity to respond. We don't teach in a black family that it's okay for you to have an opinion and it's okay for you to respond. I don't ever want for my kids to just be, okay, the sky is red. Okay.
You know, I had to
That's
get out of
stupid.
that. I had to get out of that door because I did it to my kids in the beginning.
Yeah, and you want to know
And it
why?
would be
Because we
like-
were done that way.
Because Makai would be like, well, that's my daughter, but she would just be like, well, why? Like,
Yeah.
and at first my thing was, you don't why me, but that's the way I was raised.
Yep.
You don't why your mama.
Yep.
That's a good way to get slapped.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So,
that's
but
fact.
then I had to think about it. Let me hear her out first.
Yes. Yes.
Because one day she made the comment. She said, "Mama, you know, you never really listened to me." And I was like,
Well, damn.
Daddy.
That's exactly what I said. Well, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna start listening. So then
Yeah.
I started sitting down and I started letting her talk to me, and I don't care. Like, it could be something as real simple as petty. Well, you know, to us older now. we'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, your friend did that. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, and but it for her to be able to express that, she was like, "Well, thank you, mommy. I'm so glad I was able to talk to you."
And then
because-
you know what happens when you empower them to use their voice and know when and how to use their voice, then they will not leak your private, intimate moments. They will not feel like they need to be silenced. They will speak up. They won't let people walk all over them or do inappropriate things to them, and they won't fall into the traps that happen so often when they get into the big world and they out there and somebody just tell them, okay, a cookie is, and it was really weed.
It
See what I'm
was
saying?
It was a
You
cookie
gotta-
weed. It was still cookie.
it was a magical.
It was
cookie.
just cookie weed.
Not magical.
It was a magical
It was a-
cookie.
It's magically delicious. Yeah, I'm a firm believer, and I try to teach my kids that now. You talk back, and I'm going off. But I want you to feel empowered. I don't want you to, you know, if we having a conversation, which I have lots of conversations with my children. If we having a conversation and you don't agree with something I said, there's a respectful way to say, Mommy, I don't agree.
Have y'all ever seen a depressed kid? Like, how do you know
I have.
that?
Yeah.
What are the signs of depression
I've
in a
worked
kid?
with them.
I have one, and
How did you know?
because the things that he liked to do, he no longer, and I'm talking about current, he no longer wants to do them. Like go outside and play with his friends, or be engaged in school and what's going on with schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to just sit a lot. What's wrong? And he has this droopy look on his face. I'm like, what's wrong? My stomach hurts. So I called his doctor. And I said, well, this is what's going on. I can't figure out why he's like this. Like, my child who was energetic and bouncing all over the place no longer bounces at all. He said, ma'am, I believe he's depressed. Would you bring him in? And I brought him in. And we're still dealing with it. But he did not want to tell me that he was being bullied at school. And that is what she's talking about when you don't share that kind of information. And I'm watching my child go down. Why is this happening? What's wrong? Nothing. No, it's something. Nothing. I don't want to talk about it. Those are signs. And the doctor was saying like the whole stomach hurt, my head hurt
That's-
all the
yeah.
time. Those
It's
are signs of
manifesting it. Mhm.
You'd be like, well, how old is the kid? 9? All right, I'm 9 too. Come on, baby. We're going in this school.
Because we fight cheering.
Facts. Don't lie.
Don't play with none of mine. Nieces, Nephew,
Now, for
don't.
Let me tell you
How
something.
old is the kid? Not all right. I'm not.
Let me tell you something.
Listen.
I will get on the bus and slap a kid.
Facts. Medea
Behind
style
mine.
all the way.
Okay.
Medea style.
So I
all
feel
the
like
way.
the doctors want us because when I was in a state of depression, the doctor wanted me to take medicine, right? But then you go to a counselor and you talk to a counselor, but the doctors didn't recommend me to go to a counselor. So I don't feel like all these counterparts are working together in your favor. I feel like if you go to a doctor, they're gonna put you on medicine. They're gonna want you to sit around like this.
Well, you have to know the best route. You have to know the best route. If you're in a severe state of depression, doctors will prescribe medication to help you feel like there's some get up and go.
No, it was
Now,
numb to me.
medicine does have adverse reactions to different people. But if you're in severe depression, like I want to kill myself, that medicine will put you in a lull. Some people, it puts them in a lull. Some people, it make them feel like, okay, I'm a little bit more normal. But you have to know what's gonna be the best route for you. Because yes, doctors prescribe medicine and so depression has different levels. It's a chemical imbalance sometimes. Other times depression is a response to something that has happened and it just knocks the wind out of you, and that's what causes the depression. I mean, there are different levels of it. So you have to know what level you're in
I'm glad you
for
said
which
that.
one to reach out for resources.
I'm glad you said that because depression made me start questioning God.
Why do you feel like that?
Why would God put me in the position that I'm in? And I'm not even talking about the whole marriage thing. This is before, when I was younger, when I had went into that state of depression. Why would God bring me down to my lowest? Why would God allow? And I was active in church. Everybody know I was singing in the choir. I was ushering. I was doing everything.
Yep.
But God had brought me to a point to where I wouldn't say God brought me to a point, but I had gotten to a point to where I'm like, damn, like I'm not even feeling this. Like the doctor wanted me to take medicine, and I was praying. I wasn't getting answered. Maybe my call, my prayers wasn't being reached or something. Maybe he wasn't answering the phone when I was calling.
Oh, he was hanging up.
He was hanging up.
It was a busy
It was
signal.
rejected. My calls were being rejected
Decline.
when I was called. When I was trying to call to the Lord.
Voicemail.
He just wasn't hearing me. So I was just like, well, why would God allow me to? And I'm a good person. Like, you start questioning because, like, why would God allow me to? Why me? Instead of, and you know what? Another thing that I had to realize, I had to stop asking why me. I had to stop asking why me and not why not me. And that's when I start picking back up on God. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you use me? You know what I'm saying? As the example.
I'm glad
that
you
other
said that,
people
though.
can say.
I'm really actually glad you said that, because I've heard a lot of people in the church make that comment, like, God, why would you let this happen to me? Well,
Why not? Hell, you ain't.
So let's just take it here. If everything was a bed of roses and you had all the money you needed, all the food and the provision, and you was at the top of your game and you was meeting all your goals and exceeding all your 5-year plans, would you ever turn back and tell God thank you? Or would you ever acknowledge his hand in your life?
I feel like.
Would you ever look to him for direction?
I feel like I've needed God the most when I was down. I've called on God the most when I was down. And at times when I'm high, I forget to tell him thank you.
Facts. And then let me tell you why. Because human nature is of such that when things are well, we look to ourselves.
I did
When
that.
things are bad,
I did that.
that's when we reach out and say, Lord, I need you.
Lord, I need
When
you.
stuff not going our way, please help me.
please
sometimes-
help.
But you would be amazed to realize or really experience when things are amazing and you really just begin to just tell God, like, thank you, bro. Like, you've been looking in this pandemic. My household has not gone without.
Mine either.
Not one bill has not been
Thank
paid.
you, God.
My children are safe. We
Thank
all got
you, God.
asthma. We not sick. None of my all of my affairs. It may not be the way I want it to be right now, but everything that I need, I have it. I'm actually sitting in a lap of luxury, actually, because there are people out there who don't have a house with
lap
air
of
condition.
Don't have.
You got 92 children and you in the boy bedroom. I got space. Him. But the reality is human nature is of such that we don't ever acknowledge when things are great and amazing,
I'm
and
the
just
first
say
to
thank
but
you.
it goes like that even with communicating with other people.
That's facts.
When you're in a good space in your own life, you ain't calling everybody like,
That's
oh
right.
my God, look what. But the minute something go wrong, you're like, oh my God.
Yep.
I
This
need
is what
you.
is happening. Can you come over here?
Uh-huh.
I got these.
My heart hurt. It's breaking. What the fuck was she doing? Why did you even fucking with that?
I know everybody's sitting like,
I know.
what happened?
Somebody said I love listening to y'all.
Okay, I'm sorry. We back. Uh-oh.
That's scary. It's because we was bothering the devil.
I mean.
We was bothering y'all, telling my business, and leave me alone.
Okay, I'm sorry. We back.
Is we really?
That was my bad.
Are you sure?
Is we back on the same live or a different one? Can y'all hear us? Can y'all let us know if you can hear us? And we're back.
I don't know why I keep.
The sound technician messed me up. Can y'all just give us a thumbs up if y'all can hear us? And y'all can see us? Thumbs up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Y'all, we seeing thumbs up or no?
I'm sorry.
Thumbs up if you can hear us.
She says she can see us, Francesca.
You can see. Thank you.
Thank you,
cousin.
Francesca. My bad, y'all.
All right, so
I'm
back
sorry.
to talking Tasha.
All right.
sorry.
Where did I leave off at?
She was saying that because I asked her was it hereditary because now her son is having, concerns.
He's dealing
of
with depression.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you had concerns with depression. So she said that mostly it affects multiple people in her family. It just,
Mhm.
that's what you were talking
It's just on different levels. So,
So if I'm not digging too deep, what has the doctor told you to do with your son as of now?
He needs to be on medication, and it's not a. And I was kind of opposed to it because I was opposed to taking medicine because I don't like the way it makes me feel. Because and a lot of people think like, oh, well, if you take medicine, then you're really crazy. No, all it is that, like my therapist told me, all it is that we process things in our mind differently.
Facts.
And everybody does, really, but it's on another type of level that's not normal.
Yeah.
So it's like he needs medicine. He needs some assistance. So getting him up every day, like at first that's what I was doing. Like, let's go for a walk. Let's go do this.
Get him active.
Yeah.
But then it became more of me like pulling teeth to get it done. Because at first she was like, well, cool. She walked with me. We were talking, and all of a sudden it was just like, okay, Mom, I don't want to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm not up for that either.
This heat just is depressing me.
It's hot outside. It's hot outside.
But I got a question for you. So you bring up like multiple people in your family are affected by it. So do you feel like family is a source of support or are they a source of drama?
It just depends on your family.
That's facts.
Okay.
If your family understands what it is that you have and what it is that you deal with, and they choose not to support you, it makes your journey harder.
Yeah.
Because you don't have then you have to go search for people to be
To
your
support
outlet,
you, right.
and to be like, okay, well, I need you right now. Like, I really can't describe what's going on because sometimes it's not a describable feeling. It's like good, I can't tell you what's going on with me right now, but all I know is
Something
I don't
wrong.
feel right. Like, I
Something
feel
wrong.
like this, and I want to do this, and I want to hurt myself, or I want to. If you don't have that from your family, which I have, we're all very supportive, and we try to be as much as we can, but we try to support all of us. But you have to have that support in order to make it. And if you have one of those families that's like, we're going to keep it in the family, we ain't going to tell everybody that little Pookie got, she bipolar, and she, manic depressive, Lil Pookie gonna go out there and people gonna think Lil Pookie just crazy.
And Lil Pookie gonna go out there acting a fool. Ain't nobody gonna know how to explain Lil Pookie because you tried to keep it all in the closet.
Yeah, when somebody could
Y'all need to get Lil Pookie them some help.
when somebody could say
Don't leave Lil Pookie in the closet.
Y'all-
Let him act it. And
y'all don't ask Lil Pookie about them shoes because that's gonna set him off.
listen, this is
That gonna
Mental-
set me off. I'm saying I ain't even.
Listen.
I may be a little.
I'm
you
just
know,
saying.
mental health is just as important as washing your body every day.
She really
It
wants
is
to say
important.
washing your ass.
I did, but I was not gonna say that on the Lord's Day. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Mental health is for real. It's important. I think just like we have pastors, you need a regular counselor.
And
I think pastors need counselors. I
feel
think
like-
counselors should start to be more visible in the church. Why? Because the church is where people run when they're in trouble.
facts.
And if you run to the church and your pastor may not know how to talk to
Just
you or give
run to the arms of the one who loves.
you. I'm so sick of her. But if you run into the church and you run into the pastor and you run into the deacons and everybody and nobody is helping you, then what happens? Then you get distraught and then you have nowhere to go. You
No hope.
listen.
I just have a problem when you going to talking to people and people going talking to people about you. That's what I don't like.
That's because
that's
you-
why
you
I've
haven't
always been
found
scared
your-
to go.
yeah.
I've always been scared to go to African Americans, the church. I've always been scared to do all that because if I come to you and say my ass itching, I don't need you to go and tell so and so that my ass is
She
itching.
got crabs, child.
I just need you to go get me some cream.
What?
Don't go and tell
What kind of
me
cream do you need?
whatever ass itch cream.
Off your booty.
How about you wash your booty?
Just wash.
Wash your
I
crabs.
wash good. I'm just using that as an example.
Wash.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
The
I just-
bang.
And that's what a lot of people fear. No, seriously. You got these counselors. I mean, you probably got family counselors. You got counselors that may be close to you. You got family that may be close to you. But you're scared to go and talk to your family about
Yeah.
shit because your family gonna go and talk to family about shit.
Again.
And your family gonna go and talk to family about shit. And it's gonna be a whole 360. It's gonna get back
But
to you
to
like,
this,
damn,
let me
I
say
told you
that.
that in confidence.
Everybody's not messy.
Okay.
But again,
Not all counselors, not all churches. Unbeknownst to everybody, it is a very widespread idea that all churches are the same. They are not. All pastors are not the same. I have experienced a couple that are not so
Every
great.
church she has been in,
But I
she's
know-
experienced it.
Oh my
That's why I
God!
don't feel
Here
like
you go.
got so
I
much
didn't
faith.
say
We got so much
reel
faith.
it back in.
Oh, my bad.
Oh,
so
she's taking a whole other turn, and we're not talking about that today.
It kind of made me mad on the low.
Reel it back
All right.
in. Ho,
Let me fix my hair.
but to what you were
Brown.
saying,
Reel it back in.
that still all goes back to prayer. Even if it's just Lord,
I think God's telling on me sometimes. I'm just playing. I'm
He might, but sometimes he got to
because
expose you
Danielle
to.
will come to me and be like, I seen no vision. I'm like, goddamn God.
Let me just say this, pause. He really do talk to me for real. I have dreams for real. That's a real thing. That ain't no lie. Like the people I'm connected to that the Lord speak to me. I calls and tell them, hey, bro, I don't know what you finna do, but you bet not do it, cause the Lord
Sometimes
said.
he talking about I see fish. I said I'm on the slab, about to get cut.
I
I don't got time.
You on the docket?
Mission aborted.
You was on the docket?
No,
About to get cut on the docket?
I ain't got time.
Not
You
with
catch
you.
me slip.
Jasmine,
Mission
I'm
aborted.
dead.
You know what? I just can't with her. You know, don't she? Oh.
I'm just saying. That's what people have problems. That's
Yeah,
why
I
I've been
bel-
so
I agree.
reserved with going to talking to people because people talk to people.
Again,
People,
let me tell
people
you.
that have issues,
Yeah.
people that listen to people's problems every day need somebody to talk to too.
Absolutely.
You just said that, right?
Absolutely.
So if I come and tell you that I killed my child,
Now I'm going
And then
to
you
the
gonna
police.
go-
If you're not my sister, I'm going to the police.
but what
Don't
I'm
come
saying
tell
is
me that.
you need somebody to vent to too. So now at that point you're telling my business because it's weighing heavy on
But
you.
see, this is the thing that you have to understand. A counselor needs a counselor not for your business, but to work through their own stuff.
But if my business is what's weighing
it's not.
heavy on you,
No, that's not how counselors work. Counselors do not. When you sit before, let me go ahead. That's a misnomer. Let me untie it. When you sit before a counselor does not write all your information down for them to be like, this is what I'm finna deal with now. I'm dealing with it now. That is not what our job is. Our job is to listen to you and give you tools to help you unpack your stuff. You come sit down in front of me and tell me I just slept with Bishop so-and-so last night. I don't really care that you slept with that fool, but I'm trying to give you tools on why you need to stop sleeping with him and how you can walk away from that and get up out of that.
But if Bishop Jacob is my friend's friend, I'm going to tell my friend that you
I'm
slept with
definitely
her
not.
man.
I'm definitely not, because confidentiality does exist, and I could lose my job for some ish like that.
If you,
I definitely.
if find
You
a
have to
counselor that
understand.
talks,
You
they
have to
don't need
understand
a
how.
job.
You have to understand that counselors are not out to talk about your business.
So what is one thing you could tell somebody to address the myth that seeking help means you're crazy?
Well, I can tell you, just because you ask for help does not mean you. Matter of fact, you're a smart person if you do that.
It takes a strong person
You're
to ask
smart
for help.
and you're strong.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people carry weight
Absolutely.
because their pride
And suffer in silence.
won't let them
Uh-huh.
say, "I need help." Whether that be they were raised to be, because some people are really raised that you don't go seek help. You're strong. You deal with it and you face it. And to some people that it don't work.
And depression probably seems normal to a lot of people. A lot of people are so used to like dysfunction and depression to why it just becomes their norm. So it's like, maybe I'm normally supposed to be feeling like this.
Well, because that comes from the slave mentality. When slaves were brought over here, black people are resilient and strong in nature, just period. But when slaves were brought over here against their will, they had to figure out a way to deal with the anger, the frustration, the sadness, the separation, the anxiety. They had to figure out a way to deal with it. And unfortunately, we were not given the space once slavery ended to say, bro, y'all need you need some, let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to work through your feelings. So naturally, innately, every generation after that feels like, let me suck it up, pick myself up by my own bootstraps and keep going. That is not a healthy mentality. It is not. It is not a healthy mentality to think, I can't talk to someone. I don't have anybody I can trust. I am building a building all by myself. Have you ever seen when those skyscrapers are built, there are more than one person building
There's
it?
a leak in this old building.
Your soul got to move because we ain't singing it today. But have you ever noticed when a building is built like a skyscraper, it's built by more than one person?
Yeah.
Life is not meant to be by you. You're just not meant to be by yourself. And to your point, people
And then
are
when
not
there's a leak,
trusting.
you go get the tools to fix it.
Patch that mug up, him.
You hear me?
You don't just tear the whole building down and throw away all the bricks.
You don't take your whole building down.
And
throw
even
away
if the
bricks.
building, you done blew the building up, guess what? You can take them bricks and repurpose them. You can build you another little hut.
Well, I can't do the analogy of the body because if your body blow up, then you just...
You know what? Shut up.
I was trying to say build brick, your bricks in your body. You get what I'm saying?
No, that one didn't land.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
quit your day job.
Oh, okay.
That one did not land. But to your point, people are not innately trusting anymore because they have seen so many people in leadership, in churches, in counselors and all of this other stuff. So they're not trusting. But you have to find what works for you. You do. I don't like fuzzy shoes on my feet. My sister does.
I got fuzzy shoes on right now.
And so do Tasha. I like my feet to be bare when I'm at home. It's just your preference. Find what works for you and go with that.
I got on leopard shoes. See?
Oh, but she like fuzzy shoes too.
Anyway, so I have a question for you guys. Have you ever been depressed before?
No, not depressed.
Okay. Well, Tasha's question is gonna be for you, and maybe you can just speculate. How does depression affect your intimacy?
None. There is none. I don't want to be. Don't touch me.
Wait a minute, what? Oh, don't touch me, so you don't want to hump.
No.
My coochie don't even get dry.
No.
I mean wet.
Oh.
Wet. I need some wet shit. Yeah. Kiss on your belly, yeah.
But no.
What?
It's
Piss on your bed?
piss on your belly.
Kiss on your belly.
Oh,
yeah.
girl, I
Wet.
thought you said piss. I'm about to say that is not how that
Say
go.
piss on your belly.
What kind of
That's
song was
some
that? That sound like some R. Kelly
I was
type
gonna say,
stuff.
Kale's coming to your house tonight.
He needs to stay in the jail. Leave R. Kelly
So
where
you
he
said
at,
when you're
honey.
depressed, there is none.
It's not.
So you're losing yourself and losing your man.
That's not true.
Okay.
You don't
But
give
you-
him none, he's gonna go search elsewhere.
No,
That's not
the
true.
case, and that's
If
not
you
the case.
communicate with him, and
Now he does know.
He can suck and fuck a depressed coochie. You just got the,
Y'all know. We're done. I'm out. golly.
So you saying that as long as you communicate with them.
Oh my God, I'm sick of this girl.
Well, first of all,
I don't know where she came from.
he already understands that I do deal with this. This is a battle for me. We've been together 14 years, so he knows that he can almost see it coming. I get agitated because my whole mindset is, I want to be alone.
Yeah.
I don't want you in my face.
Leave me
I don't want them in
alone.
my face. I want you to go take them. You go to a hotel. Y'all go stay over there and leave.
Yeah.
Let me be by myself because
Yeah.
I don't feel like
So
talking.
you want to
to
uproot 8 people and you just stay there when you could just uproot yourself.
Either or, it doesn't matter. Let me leave. I'll go pack my stuff and put myself in a room for the night.
Yeah.
But I'm that type. I get quiet. I get to myself, and I really don't want to be bothered. And I'm not doing anything, but mentally processing whatever this is in my head. So just imagine your mind. Y'all know about the Autobahn, right?
The what?
It's a highway somewhere in Europe where you can go any amount of speed you want. 180, 200, however fast your car will go, it will let you go. Now imagine that's the mind. Imagine it's my mind. So they're nice when I don't sleep. And it's not because I'm just up worried about something. It's because this thing here is 250 plus, just with different thoughts. My kids, my job, am I happy here? Am I happy there? Why is this not going right? How can I make this? And it's just different things all the time. And a stressor is when you want to be in one place in your life.
And you're not
And
there
you
yet.
are not there, and where you are, you're not happy. You just know, like, I could do better than this. And I'm not talking about relationships. I'm not talking about any. I'm just saying in life. I know I can do better than this. Why is it not happening for me? I can see other people. She's doing good. Now, this is just from my point of view. I'm not living that personal life. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
But why can't I be, for instance, like Danielle? Like, what is it about her that's so different from me? Or what is it
You go,
about
why me?
Jasmine?
Yeah.
Then it gets to that, why me? Why me? But then when I went to, so I had to go to Austin Lakes when I tried to kill myself. And it wasn't until I got there. And the Lord was like, Tasha, let me show you some real people with some real problems. And he showed me a lady that jumped off a bridge. The same way I wanted to. She did it and broke her back. And that was it. And the Lord was
Listen,
like,
when it ain't your time to go,
it ain't your time.
you
And that
gonna
was-
fool
that was
around
what I
and
got
be
out
in
of that.
pain for the rest of your
That
life.
was what I got out
yes,
of that.
ma'am. When
Was
it ain't your
that-
time.
The lady was alive still?
Yeah, and we sat there and she talked to me and she was like, whatever she was going through, whatever. But her end result was, I tried to jump off a bridge and ended up just on my back. And the Lord was like,
Flat on your back. Won't he do it? He'll
The Lord
lay you
was like,
flat on your back to talk to your crazy
You don't
tail.
leave until I say
That's right.
it's time for you to leave.
Yep.
And that's what I got from that. And I was like, okay, well, Lord, there's a purpose. We're going to figure it out.
And see,
There's purpose.
a lot of times people mistake suicide for wanting to end your life versus wanting to end the pain or the situation that you're experiencing or
'Cause you feel
what you're
like-
in, because you don't feel like there's a way out.
Yeah,
So
you
you
feel
feel
like
like,
that's it.
if this is what I'm gonna have to be in, I'd rather just not. Let's just not do this. Let's just,
You get to thinking about
But then you don't even know what the hell's going on afterwards. Like y'all could be placing yourself even in a horrible more situation to deal with hell. Like to sit up in hell and sweat fucking bullets.
But at the time,
Oh, you better get your life right, because if there's a hell after we leave here and you ain't got the Lord, guess where you going?
it's going to be hotter than Texas.
You ain't going to no purgatory. Ain't no water in hell. Yeah. It's milk and honey in the...
She got a purgatory, y'all. Now all of a sudden she gonna use the word purgator and all this other shit. She got a pergola in her backyard. Is that what it's
A
called?
pergola?
What is that?
It's a pergola.
A pergola. She got a pergola in her backyard, y'all. That's all she say. Pergola.
This girl's
pergola.
retarded. I don't even know what she talking about. This girl right here, she challenged. Don't listen to nothing she said, because she don't have no sense. None at all. But the crazy thing is that there are more people in the church who are depressed than they're not. More people in the church who are not willing to admit that they've experienced depression. Now I get anxiety because I'm a perfectionist, And I like when I do things, I want it done this way. And if it don't go this way, I'm like, bro, it's not happening like I want it to. It's not working my way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the reality of it is stress, anxiety, depression. It's all important to know who you can reach out to know the resources when you're dealing with mental health crisis and mental health issues. It's important for you to recognize when you're at your limit and take a step away. It's all important. It's all very important. It's important for us to have these kind of conversations.
And it is very important that if you feel that you need to see a counselor,
Find
one.
ASAP.
And I'm talking to myself and everybody else out there.
ASAP.
Find one. It don't hurt.
So we're gonna start wrapping this show up. If you could give one piece of advice for someone that's suffering in silence, what would it be? And you probably already said yours, but you can go into depth and just like reach, what is it that we can do? Like, give them one piece of advice.
Hit me up on Facebook if you feel like you are at the bottom. Call me. We'll walk. We'll talk. We can talk, but I mean, if you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to talk to any of these ladies, get you a counselor.
I don't want you talking to me. I'm sorry. I'm telling you that right now. I don't want to listen to people's problems. I didn't get in that profession.
This is why.
I didn't get in that profession. Like,
You know what? If you call her, ask her for the right connections.
I can connect you with people, but don't call me with that depressing ass shit. Cause I already got my own issues right now. And
help me, Lord Jesus.
I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. Like, you want me to lie?
No, we thank God for your honesty.
But we don't.
Sometimes
we don't want
it
you
can
to
just-
suffer.
But I don't want you to suffer in silence. I do
silence.
advise going to get a counselor because I have seen a counselor, and at the beginning it was very helpful for me. Actually, as a matter of fact, it got me to where I needed to be until the end when she started talking about her other stuff. So
Go get you a life coach. If you don't know one, shout out to Dr. Charlotte Sullivan. She's a Christian life coach. She's awesome. Go see her.
we love her. We do love her.
I love Dr. Sullivan. She's the best.
What piece of advice you have, Danielle?
My piece of advice would be, no matter how far or how low down you feel, it's not the end.
It's not the end.
It's not the end. And you don't have to give up on yourself, on your dreams, on your goals. Every knockdown is not a defeat.
All right. With that being